Have you ever picked up a bottle, twisted off the cap without a second thought, and wondered why something so ordinary looks so precisely made? Even the smallest everyday objects often carry details that seem too deliberate to be accidental. A bottle cap is one of those things. It appears simple, almost invisible in daily life, yet every tiny groove around its edge exists for a reason. So why do beer bottle caps have exactly 21 ridges? The answer goes back more than a century and involves engineering, manufacturing, and the surprising importance of getting the smallest details exactly right. Let's uncover the story behind this overlooked design, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before screw caps became common on plastic bottles, beverages needed a reliable way to stay fresh for long periods. In the late 19th century, bottled drinks were growing in popularity, but sealing them properly remained a challenge. Corks could dry out, leak, or be difficult to remove, while other stoppers often failed to keep carbonation inside. Brewers and soft drink manufacturers wanted a closure that was inexpensive, dependable, and easy to mass produce. The problem became even more important as railroads allowed bottled beverages to travel farther than ever before. A stronger, more consistent seal meant drinks could survive long journeys without losing their fizz or becoming contaminated, creating a demand for a completely new type of bottle closure. That breakthrough arrived in 1892 when American inventor William Painter patented what he called the crown cork. Instead of relying on a simple plug, his design used a thin metal cap lined with a sealing material that was crimped tightly around the lip of a specially shaped bottle. Once pressed into place, the cap formed an airtight seal capable of holding the pressure created by carbonated drinks. The invention was remarkably effective and quickly spread across breweries and bottling plants around the world. Although materials have changed over the decades, from cork liners to modern plastic compounds, the basic crown cap introduced by Painter has remained almost unchanged because it solved the problem so efficiently. Looking closely at a crown cap, you might assume the ridges are simply there to make it easier to grip. While they do help slightly, that is not their main purpose. Those ridges are actually called corrugations, and they play a crucial role during the sealing process. When the cap is placed over the bottle, specialized machinery folds each corrugation tightly underneath the bottle's crown finish. This creates a secure mechanical lock while compressing the liner against the glass to prevent air or liquid from escaping. Without these evenly spaced corrugations, the metal could wrinkle unpredictably or fail to grip the bottle evenly, leading to leaks, broken seals, or bottles that lose their carbonation long before reaching consumers. So why exactly 21 ridges instead of 20, 24, or some other number? The answer is the result of decades of engineering standardization rather than a magical mathematical formula. Manufacturers discovered that 21 corrugations provide an ideal balance between flexibility and strength for the standard crown cap diameter of about 26 millimeters. Fewer ridges create wider sections of metal that are harder to crimp evenly, while too many make each segment narrower and more difficult to manufacture consistently. 21 evenly distributes the force around the bottle's lip, allowing sealing machines to operate quickly while maintaining reliable pressure all the way around. It became the industry standard because it delivered dependable performance at enormous production speeds. The importance of that standard becomes clear inside a modern bottling plant. Thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of bottles move through production lines every hour. Filling machines, cappers, inspectors, and packaging equipment are all designed around precise dimensions that leave very little room for variation. If manufacturers frequently change the number of corrugations, entire production systems would need adjustment, slowing operations and increasing costs. Standardized crown caps also simplify quality control because engineers know exactly how much force should be applied during sealing and how the finished cap should appear afterward. That consistency helps breweries across different countries use similar equipment while ensuring every bottle reaches customers with the same reliable seal. Interestingly, the familiar 21 ridge crown cap is not universal for every bottle around the world. Some larger bottle openings use crown caps with different diameters and different numbers of corrugations to match their specific designs. However, the classic 26mm crown cap found on most beer bottles has become so widespread that it is often mistaken for a law of nature rather than an engineering convention. Even bottle openers have evolved alongside this design, hooking neatly beneath the corrugations to lift the cap away with minimal effort. What seems like a tiny decorative detail is actually part of a carefully coordinated system involving bottles, caps, machinery, and opening tools that all work together with remarkable precision. The next time you hold a bottle of beer, or even a glass bottle of soda, take a moment to notice the cap before removing it. Those 21 ridges are the product of more than a century of refinement, representing countless experiments, manufacturing improvements, and practical decisions made by engineers who wanted something dependable above all else. They remind us that good design often goes unnoticed precisely because it works so well. The most successful inventions are not always the most complicated. They are the ones that quietly become part of everyday life until we stop questioning them altogether. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.